Hello everyone, welcome to the Toy Talk Guys podcast. I'm Strick.
And I'm Motyl.
We're here to bring you everything happening in the world of toys. We're talking action figures, Lego, video games, and anything else that catches our eye. On today's podcast, we've got some quick mentions to go through. We got some Super7 and some, new one, Rivian on here. Not quite a toy, we'll get to it. Then our meteor discussion topics, we got some Lego, we got some Wendys, Frosty, Frights, and then we got some McDonald's boo buckets in the investing corner, some Aaahh real monsters from Mondo. And if you're thinking what I'm thinking, these are all sound a little scary. You're right, because this is our Halloween-ish cast. Here it is, dude. Wait all year. Here it is. How we doing, Motyl?
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies. Oh yeah, dude. I'm just in my element here, man. Oh, yeah. Love getting spooky with you.
And it's October 13th. That's no date to sneeze at, man. That's a great date for the cast.
It is, yeah. There ain't nothing to scrape your knee on.
No way. All right, man. You want to get us started with these spooky quick mentions here?
I don't want to get anybody too scared at home, but we are starting off with a banger here, dude. Super7. This is something that I don't know if I can fight off my urges. I might have to pick these up. They recently released Return of the Living Dead reaction figures. Now, to be clear, they've made a couple of these before, and actually these same molds, but what we're highlighting here in this cast specifically is the Tarman and Trash Monster Glow version. So these two figures glow in the dark, which is pretty cool. I don't have it linked, but compared to their regular versions, these are tight, dude. And these are the ones that I would go for. I'm not going to get into the whole, have you seen Return of the Living Dead? Because I know you haven't.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, it is probably top 5 favorite zombie films for me personally.
Okay. Love
this film. It's the first zombie film that plays on the trope of zombies eating brains and craving brains. So there's your little
really?
Look. Yeah. That's what this film's famous for.
Nice. I never knew that. I always assumed that was just part of the genre from the beginning.
Yeah, no. Started right there. Love these figures. I like them aesthetically. These two characters, it's funny. These are the only two characters they made outside of the two characters, like the cartoonish characters that are on the front of the DVD. I don't know if more are going to be made, but these two specifically are very, very unimportant in the whole movie. Like, they are not main characters by any means. Tarman's like the zombie that everybody identifies the movie with. It's an iconic zombie. And then Trash is this like punk rocker that, spoilers, I mean, she's in it for like the first, 15, 20 minutes, and then she dies pretty quickly. But she has this crazy like exploitative scene where she just strips down naked and she is like dancing in a graveyard on top of like an altar, some sort of like gravestone. It's so memorable. But yeah, this movie, if anybody hasn't seen it and is dipping their toes into horror, huge recommendation here. You would not be disappointed. I do hope they continue. I feel like that's what's going to push me over the edge if they make more of these. Glowing in the dark, man. It's time tested. It's just one of those things. It's just, it's a great seller.
Well, 50 bones for those, and they're on sale now. You can get them now, right?
Yeah. And it's reaction prices. They just keep ticking up there. Just every release, it's like, yeah, sure. We're already paying $20, but $5 more and it can glow in the dark. Sure. I'm sold. What you got?
Sweet. Good stuff. All right. Well, I have something that's not quite toys. It gets into that, other stuff that we're looking at, stuff that catches our eye. So this is the car maker, Rivian. They are an electric car brand. They only make electric cars. So, most people know Tesla. Rivian, I think they're number 2 in the U.S. They don't make many vehicles, but they're kind of getting up there. Anyway, this just kind of caught my eye. So for Halloween, on the front of the Rivian, there's this light bar that's across the front. And for Halloween, they kind of sent out this software update to the car, and then they made it so that you could put your car into like Knight Rider mode. So it would have like a little red bar that kind of went back and forth. I never really watched that show. I know of Knight Rider, like my brother watched it and stuff like that. But I just thought that was really neat. Like a car company sending a software update, and all of a sudden you have like a costume for your car through the month of October. I've never heard of or seen anything like that. I don't know if you have or just like what you think of that concept. I thought it was pretty neat and at least caught my eye.
Yeah. I've never seen an update like that. That's crazy. I mean, you can see all like the kitschy stuff that, you can buy like eyelashes for your VW bugs and stuff like that. Like you can, like the novelty junk. But aside from that, like this, it's so leaning into like specifically niche market, but it's like this a major update type deal. Like it's crazy. It's weird. I like it.
It had me, we mainly talk toys and collectibles, and like this is a vehicle that, or like vehicles themselves, I guess, people get into collecting, and if you have that kind of cash, there's definitely like antique car collections and stuff like that. So I don't know, it just like struck me as like these things are almost toy-like in the way that they're starting to be manufactured, where it's like, here's a software update. It gives you nothing else than just like the joy of making your car look like Knight Rider and looking really cool driving down the street. I haven't really seen this in action, but I just imagine people are like, whoa, was that car just like doing a Knight Rider thing right there?
Yeah, right.
It was just pretty cool. Figure I'd bring it on the cast.
Well, you have your costume all figured out then. You just dress up like whatever David Hasselhoff looked like when he was in that show.
Exactly. Like black leather jacket, I'm pretty sure. Black gloves. I think you got it. I think you have the look. Anyway, it was something different. Figure we'd talk about it for a sec.
Dude, it's Stooms. It's the spooky cast. It's the Halloween-ish, man. I love it.
Exactly. Halloween-ish. All right, Motyl. I feel like Lego was listening to our last Halloweenish cast, because I kind of threw them under the bus. I was like, Lego's not doing a whole lot in the Halloween category, and that was very true of last year. They have maybe like one or two sets out there. This year, I mean, they've got a whole page on their website dedicated to all the weenie sets that they've got out there. They're like, look at all these. So it's like a 3-pager here. I was just going to peruse through and just show some of these boys off and see if there's anything worth talking about. The one that's like really stealing the show this year, we'll probably spend the most time talking about, is the Nightmare Before Christmas set that just came out. That thing is looking good. It is $200, pretty expensive there, but that thing is looking good. We've got like Wednesday stuff from was that Addams Family, like the new show and everything. We've got the Wicked sets that we talked about a few casts ago. They're even peppering in some like, hey, the Harry Potter's kind of Halloweeny. We'll pepper some of that in there. Some of these are taking a little bit of a license, like Disney Castle. Sure, that's Halloweeny, I guess. Just like anytime there's something a little ghoulish in one of the sets, they're gonna throw that on this list. It just struck me this year that Lego decided to make such a big deal about Halloween when they typically totally pass over this holiday. I love that it was getting its fair due here, man. Anything jumping out of you other than that Nightmare Before Christmas?
Oh yeah, dude. How did you just pass over the Halloween barn set, man?
Oh yeah, that barn set, man. Let me tell you about that barn set. That $15 barn. I don't know. I don't know why I'm being so harsh on it. It's a fine set. It comes with a little skeleton. It's nice.
I feel like that's like the casual collector just coming on to being like, I played with Lego a little bit back in the day, and it's been a decade, but I haven't bought a set in a while. Maybe they got a Halloween set, and then they see that and they're like, oh, that's for me. That's exactly what I want. It's not kitschy like pop culture junk. It's just like Halloween skeleton. Like, that's my build. That's what I want.
That's where I'm at. That's my Ween build.
Cut the crap.
I'll tell you what they're sleeping on, man, is the brickheads, dude. They used to be all over the fall and weenie brickheads, and now they got like nothing. I mean, they got some on this list, but they're like, Wednesday brickheads, but they're sleeping on the Universal Monsters, man. I'm trying to like round out that collection. They only did Frankenstein in that.
Oh man.
I know. They're just like, I don't know. Maybe they'll bring it back around. What's really stealing the show this year, man, is that pumpkin set. You see that, boy? That gift with purchase?
Oh, yeah.
That sick pumpkin. So, little tease. We got that in the Strick household. We were able to acquire this. It is a gift with purchase. You got to purchase $120. Luckily, I had enough stuff on my list that I was able to get that boy. And we put it together as a family. It was everyone was kind of involved in putting it together, and it's a sweet set, man. It's got a little light brick in it. You can turn that little pumpkin on. He glows up. I was just like, Lego brought it this year, man. They did Ween right. I can't knock them anymore. They know what they're doing now. So that's probably my favorite on this list. What are you thinking of the Nightmare Before Christmas set? I don't know if you got eyes on that boy.
Yeah, that's cool. And I know we've definitely talked about Nightmare Before Christmas on the cast before, but yeah, I mean, I like the movie. You know, obviously aesthetically, like it's amazing. This build, yeah, it's cool. And I don't know, $200 in the grand scheme of things and where we are now in terms of price for everything doesn't seem that bad.
Yeah, I mean, it is funny how I'm like I just spent $120. I spent a little bit more to get that Halloween pumpkin set, and while I'm buying it, and I'm just justifying the purchase. I'm just like, it's $100 here, and I would spend that much on toys for the kids anyway, and I mainly bought Christmas sets to achieve that threshold. But this one is looking cool, man. I do like these figures a lot. Like, I'm probably gonna get these outside of the build, but I was just looking for that Oogie Boogie, man, like that big fig of the Oogie Boog, and just didn't happen. So that was a little bit disappointing. But I mean, I think you got everybody else there that you would want in the set. Maybe actually, you're missing like who's Sally's creator? What's his name? Like the doctor.
Oh man, that like itches his brain. I can't remember.
Yeah. I feel like that's a bit of a miss. I feel like they could have had him in there and then maybe rounded it out a little bit. But otherwise, like, you got a great Zero mold. I like that a lot. Everybody else is looking pretty good. And yeah, I don't know what else you'd want in a set like this.
I'm digging it.
They were just bringing the Ween this year. Some of these skeleton heads are looking kind of cool. Every time I see these, like the little just like pumpkin storage heads.
Oh, the storage heads, yeah. Aren't those like massive?
They're small and large. I've just been considering picking them up just to have like a little bit of decoration, a little bit of more Halloweeny decoration.
I hear you. What about this Halloween ideas box?
Yeah, no, it's just like stuff like that. They really didn't do anything like that last year, and this year they're like putting out the little like barn set. They're putting that out, like the Halloween ideas, and I mean they're dedicating like a whole marketing page to it. It just feels like all the retailers this year are just trying to hop on the Halloween bandwagon. They're just like, yo, let's get all the shopping done before the Ween happens. Like I don't know if you felt that at all, but like we've done like all our shopping, like all our Christmas shopping already. Just with the way like Amazon Prime Day was landed and everything, and it just seemed like all the other retailers reacted to that, and they were like, let's get all the toy shopping done early. So
Lego's just obviously listening to the cast, and people are just forwarding them our links. Just listen to Strick, man. Like, he knows what we're talking. He knows what we need to do. Strick's got the answers.
Obviously, as soon as they stop putting stickers in the set, that's when I know they're listening. We're almost there. Almost there. It'll be an interesting season for Lego. We'll see what they do.
All right, dude. Are you ready for Wendy's, man? Talking some fast food on the Spooky Cast.
Getting hungry over here.
This is so cool, man. I mean, like I've said on previous casts, I definitely still keep up with what fast food is putting out there in terms of what toys they're getting out there to us. And Wendy's, man, they are delivering. They're really leaning into the Halloween, and this promotion, it started in early September, I think, and then you have a chance all the way up until the 1st of November or whatever it is. So run out there and grab these. What we're talking about: Frosty Frights kids meal toys. Ooh, y'all love a good Frosty, don't you?
I do. Well, the real question is, what's your Frosty flavor?
Oh, that's like sacrilege to ask a question like that. I mean, come on.
Is that one of those things you don't ask? It's like taboo to ask in
oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I brought it up.
I mean, to be fair, like what do they normally have on tap? It's like chocolate or vanilla, right? And then whatever like weird novelty flavor.
I think strawberry is part of the pack now. I think it's chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, yeah.
It's crazy.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm almost positive.
They got you covered in a couple more flavors, it looks like here. So these toys that are coming out, I mean, this is exactly the stuff that I would like when I was a kid. They're all just Frosty cups with faces and appendages, so they're just little figures to collect. This is marketed directly towards me because I love this kind of stuff. we can kind of run down what they got going on here. It's all Halloween themed characters. Coolie Ghoulie, Cold Spell, Franken Frosty, Burr Beast, Frosty Bite, and good old Junior. Which is my personal favorite. I mean, it's great that it's all Halloween stuff, but if I went to Wendy's to get one of these, I'd pray that it was Junior. 'Cause he's just
which one's Junior?
He's the regular Frosty.
Okay, the red one.
Yeah, the red one. It's Ghost, Frankenstein, Dracula, a werewolf, a witch, and then just a normal Frosty. But the gimmick, if they have one, from what I understand, is like a sticker sheet, so you can put like accessories on them. And Junior, he actually comes with a skeleton costume, so you can make him a skeleton.
Ooh.
I know what you're thinking, skeletons aren't strong, but
that's what I was thinking.
But yeah, I mean, so you could make him Halloweenish here, but in like all the promotional ads and stuff, he's kind of just like opening up a book under like with a flashlight, and he's just like reading about all these spooky Frosty frights, which actually ties into there are these books that are available that are about these characters as well. And from what I understand, it's like a coupon book, I think. So you get like free Frosties or something.
I think we have this. I think we have this coupon book.
Oh, do you? So you have a toy?
I don't know if we got the toy. I think we just got the coupon book because we go get Frosties after doctor's appointments. That's kind of our thing.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, gosh, grab one of these, man. Get you a Junior.
Do you got to get? So how do you get it? Do you got to get a Junior Frosty and you get it, or you got to get a meal?
No, I'm talking about the character. I think you pay like $1 extra when you're buying like a kid's meal, and then you get like a coupon book, and you get like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 free Frosties. I could be messing that up, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Are there like variations of each? Because I'm looking and there's like a bunch of them. Okay, so there's okay.
Yeah, so there's the characters that I mentioned. It's 6 of them, but then yes, exactly. There's variations of each character, except Junior. I don't know if Junior has a variation. I think he's just Junior.
He's just Junior.
So yeah, man. I mean, I love this. I love that like Wendy's, didn't necessarily, I don't know if they did or not, did it go out to bid or something for like a Halloween property that they could make money on that they partnered with? Who knows? They were just like, you know what? We got enough source material in-house. We're just going to make all the Frosties come alive, and they're all just going to be different generic Halloween characters. I love that, dude. That's like them trying. Not just like spending money.
They're like, it worked with McDonald's with the McNuggets. Like, why not the Frosties?
Exactly.
Why not? Just give it a shot.
You could do this every year. You could make, different variations, but then you could also, I don't know, think of like different creatures or monsters. Like, make it different every year. It doesn't even have to be like, Frosty Frights works as like a marquee for this, but you could do all the food. Like, start making like burger people, like square burger people. Or like like Biggie French fries, You
could, yeah.
I just feel like that stuff works. It works for me. This is the stuff I was always attracted to when I was a kid. I still am.
I don't know. Maybe the McDonald's gang, that would have got me excited as a kid. I feel like if I walked into Wendy's and this stuff was, I'd be like, where's stuff I know? Like, where's the Disney properties? Like, what am I looking at here? But as soon as I got Junior, I'd change my mind and be like, this guy is sweet. I like him.
He's like the perfect one to like put on your desk at work.
Yeah. And somebody's just like, is that Frosty? You're like, dang right it is. Does it say Wendy's like on the back at all? I'm just looking at the front of them. I guess we'd have to get one in hand.
I really do need to get one in hand. I've been meaning to. I almost did it today, but we opted for something different. So this could not better express the Halloween season or mood that a fast food place is able to express, if that makes any sense.
I think it does.
So often, I feel like you said with Lego, like I just feel like Halloween just gets overlooked in some areas. And Wendy's is like, I would say like second rate as far as like toys go. Like nobody outside of us would probably think like, well, like what's Wendy's got going on right now? It's Wendy's is one of those restaurants where it's like you don't know about it until you get there. And it's like, oh, they got this promotion going on. Like, I feel like, because like Burger King and McDonald's have always commanded that, like, well, what do they got going on next? What's next? And Wendy's is like, oh yeah, this. You know what I mean? I feel like they've always
exactly
done that.
What you mean? Yeah, I remember that as a kid. Like, we would always get Wendy's a lot, and I would just be like, oh, these toys are just subpar. I mean, sometimes you get like a banger of a toy, but then you're just like, can we go to McDonald's get the good stuff? Like, I'm tired of these like puzzles and whatever they got going on.
I know you'd almost feel just like you wouldn't want to tell people that that's the toy that you got, you know, because they'd be talking about like the toys they got from Burger King and McDonald's, and you're just like, yeah, I went to Wendy's, and you're like, what is that nonsense?
They're like, ugh. It's almost as bad as Chick-fil-A giving out like books and puzzles.
Oh no,
We got plenty of those.
But yeah, dude, Wendy's, man, it's there. I feel like, I mean, you don't think it's a hit. I think it's kind of a banger. Like, I just it's so reminiscent of like what I feel like it was in the 90s for Halloween and fast food. So good for them for doing that.
Yeah, man. I like it. I always like something new like this, so good on them. All right, Motyl. Up next, everyone's favorite new segment. Crack out the books, dude. Crack out the calculators. We're going straight to the bay because we are talking investing corner. Here we go. Investing corner. And we got a special one this time, this cast. We were just talking about Wendy's. We're just hopping over the fence into the next yard, I guess. McDonald's. We're talking McDonald's.
Parking lot.
The next parking lot. We're talking McDonald's. The you love them, you hate them. They're the boo buckets, bud. All right, let's talk about it. McDonald's boo buckets. So we're just checking out the eBay here at how these boo buckets have been doing. What would you guess? I know you already looked at this, Motyl, but what would you just guess? Like, even before looking, like what boo buckets would be going for? Like, do you know anything about this market? Do you have a general idea?
No, I gotta be honest with you. I thought at any time in my life where I was just like craving a vintage boo bucket from the 90s, I was always thinking, yeah, I'm sure it's like going for like $5 on eBay. Nobody wants that.
That was kind of my going in. You know, my sisters had gotten us a couple of these last year, and we always talk about them. I'm like, I wonder if there's collectors out there. I assume, you know, everybody collects everything. Boo buckets just, you know, they're made to be collected in a way. So I just went to the old eBay, and we started scrounging around, and I found two things that popped out right away. One, nothing is like going crazy bananas. I think like the most expensive single bucket that I found was around like $35. And they're all like, you know, vintage, you know, the higher selling stuff. People have like lots of them. The highest thing is sold in like the past 90 days was a lot from, you know, 1986 to 1993 is $75. So, you know, if you have a complete collection, I think they'll go a little higher. So $70. I mean, that's, you know, that ain't nothing to sneeze at, bud. What is that per bucket? If I could do quick math, 5 divided by 75. What is that? 14? Is that right?
That sounds great.
I think it's $15. Yeah, $15. Do some quick math there. But I mean, what do you get these for? Like nothing, right? About $5. You're tripling your money in like only 30 years, dude, or 40 years. Hang on to these boo buckets.
Yeah.
I'm jesting a bit. I mean, most of these are, like, to your point, are not worth a whole lot. It is pretty much like $5 flipping online, especially for the newer stuff. But I was surprised to see some of the older stuff getting up there, like in the $20 to $30 range for a single bucket.
You know, that stuff doesn't shock me. I'll be honest with you. Like the stuff from the 80s, you know, that's getting pretty old. And it looks way more classic, and if it's in nice condition, and you're like a serious collector, I understand that price. But the stuff that's from like the 90s, like the stuff that I had, I'm seeing one listing here for like buckets from 1994, which I know I had these, and it's like $47 with 12 and change shipping, and it's 3 of them. I think that's a little nuts. I mean, just to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, and again, you know, not everybody collects the same thing, and obviously people collect these, but that's not a price I would feel comfortable paying, you know? even if I was like die-hard Boo Buckets.
Luckily, if you were diehard Boo Buckets, it does seem like a collection you could complete fairly easily without spending a whole lot of money. I mean, yeah, I was a little surprised at some of these lots. Like, some of them are just like, it's just a bunch of random buckets and you're buying like doubles and stuff, and I'm sure nobody is thrilled about that. But then, yeah, I think you're looking at the one like 1991, $70 for 3 of them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, like they're so the same year to year that it's not like you're just after a boot, like you're after those ones specifically. And it's a small market. I mean, this is the last 90 days, all US. I think it's like all North America sales, and it's 148 totals sold, leading up to the big Ween. I was imagining it to be more than that. You look up something like action figures, even like certain collections of action figures, and you're like, oh, easily over 1,000 pretty quick. So this is not a super hot market either. So very, very niche.
It doesn't help the Boo Buckets cause, and I've always felt this way, where it's like, it's funny and it's fun to say like Boo Buckets, oh, like the McBoo Buckets, whatever, but it doesn't help their cause that it's like, when you look at them, it's just very broad, general Halloween stuff. It's like, it's a witch and it's a ghost and it's a pumpkin. Basically, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So if it was like specific, like McDonald's characters and like new McDonald's characters, or they worked their way into like, McDonald land lore and stuff, then I'm all over it. But this has no ties to McDonald's. Like, anybody that like never has seen these before, they would just be like, oh yeah, Halloween, they wouldn't be like, oh, is that the stuff that you would get your McDonald's in? Like, they put their french fries and the burger in there and that was the toy. And some people would recognize that, but if you're not familiar with it, nobody would ever think that. Nobody would ever think this is tied to McDonald's.
It might as well be like generic dollar store Halloween bucket,
Exactly.
It's almost what they did. They just bought a bunch of those and they were like, let's just sell them through the store.
Yeah, exactly. Except if you notice, Strick, there are some Boo Buckets that divert from that. And those are the ones that I remember seeing them and I was just like, I don't even want to mistakenly get these. Which is, it's funny to say that now because this totally just
goes against everything you just said.
Yeah, exactly. It just it undoes everything I just said. The ones with like the McDonald Land characters all over them. I remember as a kid seeing that stuff. Like you remember like the animated shows that were on like direct to video, like VHS that McDonald's sold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at a couple of those. Right? Yeah, I found the listing when they had a couple of them.
I remember seeing that as a kid, and I was just like, whoa. Like, what are you doing here? Like, where's like the pumpkin face and the ghost face? Like, I don't want this junk. But now I'm just like, I'm looking at those and I'm like, ooh, actually, if I had to buy some, it would probably be those with like the McDonald Land stuff on them.
No, I'm saying those would be the ones I want, and I did kind of breeze over those. I did see something going on with pictures, and then I was like, let me click in and check that out. But yeah, those are looking pretty nice. I like those, and there's a couple different designs, which is cool. Yes. So that you're saying that was like 1 year they did that?
I very specifically remember that, and it says 1999. I mean, not that I was like still going to McDonald's in 1990. Well, I was, but I remember seeing it and just being like, kind of just putting my hand over my forehead and eyes and just like running my hand down my face, being like, McDonald's, come on, like, what are you doing? Why would you mess up a good thing?
Yeah, they were trying something new, and
yeah,
obviously they just went back to what works.
Well, they were just
they did that for like a year.
They were so excited about their cartoon that they wanted to just slap it on everything. So the Boo Buckets unfortunately saw that fate. But now I'm glad they did it because that's the one that I would want.
Yeah. So if you're listening out there and you have a pile of Boo Buckets, I'd say anything that's like 2000 or newer, you might as well throw it in the garbage. It's not worth much. But if you got something from, the 90s, definitely the 80s, slap that boy online if you're looking to get rid of it. You might get a good chunk of change.
And they're doing Boo Buckets again. Can you believe it?
I believe it.
It's funny. Dunkin' Donuts is doing Boo Buckets this year too, for 2024.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, you get a whole bucket of the donut, or whatchamacallit, munchkins. They fill it up with munchkins.
Ooh, look at those. All right.
Yeah, dude, they're getting into the bucket game. Everybody's in the bucket. Burger King was in the bucket game, man. They're all shouldering for space in this bucket game. Clearly it's not even that big of a market, so.
Everybody needs a good bucket, man. All right, Duncan, I see you with your bucket.
Right?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they do. We'll be looking at eBay Duncan buckets next.
Do you guys not go to McDonald's at all, so you won't get these?
No, yeah, we don't really venture McDonald's, mostly because they have like sesame seeds galore. My son's allergic to them, so we.
Oh, do they? I thought that was Burger King. That's McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean they got the Big Mac and stuff, and in their buns, it contains sesame, even if they don't have sesame on the top of them. They just blanket statement with that.
So are you doing the same thing I'm doing, where I just, once everybody goes to bed, I just DoorDash a whole bunch of McDonald's?
I haven't done it yet, but after talking about this food tonight, I'm like getting pretty hungry. So we'll see. Dude. We'll see what happens.
If I'm not scared, I feel like I'm getting so scared from these topics. So
that's true.
I'm losing my appetite. How scared I'm getting. So
to get my flashlight, get under my blanket, and just wait for the DoorDash guy to get here.
Yeah, dude, I love that you got the boo buckets back on here, man. I feel like we were talking about these every Halloween.
Yeah, had to just see what they're up to on the old, the old market.
Always got to check back in.
Oh yeah.
Real monsters. Dude, you remember this show, Aaahh! Real Monsters?
Heck yeah, love this show.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, I remember you saying something about that. All right, cool. So yeah, dude, we got Mondo back on the cast. They did not have an off week here. They are back on the cast after last cast, even though I feel like I kind of ripped them apart a little bit. Had to put them back on here just because it's very, very weenish with what they're doing. Aaahh! Real Monsters. Yeah, they're making these figures, which, if I understand correctly, Aaahh! Real Monsters has not had any kind of action figures made of them other than like pop vinyl since the 90s when it originally aired. So this is exciting. I feel like my big critique last episode with Mondo, with how expensive it was, this, in terms of what you're getting and compared to what other things are priced, this is a very good deal. Not to say that it's cheap, because what you're getting for $150 for pre-order, this is the main crew from the cartoon show Aaahh! Real Monsters. So you're getting Obelina, Crumb, and Ickis. And then for that $150 price, you're also getting 2 little minifigures in Zimbo and Bonsty.
Bonsty?
Yeah. So that's the $150 option. That's like an extra, and you're getting like extra swappable accessories. And then for a $125 option, you can get just the three main core of Obelina, Crumb, and Ickis. And I don't think you get as many accessories. So, I mean, obviously, if you're looking at like what you get for the $150, yeah, I really think that's if you're already spending over $100, it's like, what's another $25? So you might as well just get more bang for your buck. These, I mean, I gotta be honest with you, they're not I guess they're not action figures, but they're more so just like kind of statues. I don't think they pose or anything, but they look great. I mean, they really captured the likeness of these guys. But yeah, well, what was your initial take on these, or just like the show in general?
I mean, after getting over the price, that is cool to see something like this back from the day, back from your childhood. I haven't heard Aaahh! Real Monsters since I was a kid, so it's just interesting that they're dipping back to this one. Crumb looks great. I love him. I mean, they all look good, but just specifically Crumb. And then if you do opt for that $150 version, it seems like you get like an open mouth version of him. Like you get the right accessories to turn him into open mouth Crumb. I just remember that so much from the show, him just like chucking his eyeballs around and just like eating them and like having them in his mouth, and just it was just such a gross, disgusting show. I'm sure you just absolutely love that show, but I just remember like what I liked it, but I just remember watching it and being like, this is like icky. I like it, but it's icky.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, I loved it so much. I even remember specifically when it first started airing, because I didn't like hear any kind of promotional stuff for it. it was one of those things where Nickelodeon was like running bumpers where it's just like a montage of like shows that are upcoming, or I don't even know. It's just like some sort of like commercial where I caught shots, like glimpses of each of these monsters like coming out of the toilet and stuff, and I was like, what is that? And it's not like I couldn't, like, I didn't have like DVR, like I couldn't rewind it or anything. So I remember I would just like, I'd have my mom just tape Nickelodeon, like just tape this stuff, like just tape for a couple of hours or whatever, and then we would like go back and look at it and see if like what we would like, what was playing for this stuff, because I was like, I don't even know what this is. I assumed it was like a Rocko's Modern Life episode or an episode from something else. I didn't know it was its own show. And I remember like going to my mom just like, okay, like, is this, if it's Rocko, like, let's look at the TV guide, and let's figure out what times Rocko's airing, and let's record all the Rockos to see if we can see these characters. It's funny, man. I mean, it brings me right back there when I see these characters. But yeah, love the show. I was totally obsessed with it while it was on. And yeah, these figures are really bringing me back to it. I guess you didn't, I'm going to assume you didn't know, but Mattel back in the day did actually put out a run of these figures. So there are vintage Odd Real Monsters figures out there, which I did have because I was such a fan of the show. Had to have them. Actually got like basically the whole run of them. That's like all I asked for Christmas one year. And I remember my mom and my grandma, they both together, they both like got all of them, and they hid them like all at my grandma's house, and my grandma had them all wrapped up. And I remember I was over there like weeks and weeks before Christmas, and she was like a big softie with stuff, so I just kept like hinting at like, can we like go to the store and like look at the Odd Real Monsters, like sort of like probing. And then I remember she was like, well, you are getting some of those for Christmas. I was like, oh, am I? And I was like, well, can I see them? She was like, well, they're wrapped up right now, and, you know, it's not Christmas yet. And I'd be like, but can I just see them wrapped up? Can I just... She's like, well, and then eventually, like, I just coerced her into showing me, like, the pile of them. And then eventually I was able to just convince her, like, can I please just open one? Like, just please, just one. And I remember to this day, I was just like, I want to open up any of them, and I want to see any of the characters, but I didn't love the Obelina character as much as I loved, like, Crumb and Ickis. Like, those were my favorite. And I liked the Gromble, too. I mean, the Gromble was great, but
it's so good.
I was like, don't let it be Obelina. And of course, the one I picked was Obelina. I was like, it's like, whatever. I still enjoyed it, and I played with it every day until Christmas when I could open up the rest of them. So, a fond memory. Hilarious thinking back on it, how I was able to, like, just do that to my grandmother. But, yeah, that line holds a special place in my heart. So when I saw this come out, I was like, oh man, like this is like tugging at me. Have to get this on the cast.
I'd really love to rewatch an episode. Do you have any idea if this is streaming, where it's streaming, if anywhere?
I'm almost positive it's streaming on Paramount Plus at this moment. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's where like all the Nickelodeon stuff is streaming.
Sounds right.
That's where all the classici, how do you say it? Do you remember the Classici Casupo? Classic Casupo? I think that's the animation studio that worked. That's the animation studio that did like Rugrats too. And then, funny enough, the animation studio that did the McDonald's stuff that we were talking about in the last segment.
Oh, they did that too. Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's all the same studio. It's pretty crazy. I remember even just like realizing that as a kid, just being like, oh, this stuff looks like Tommy Pickles could walk onto the screen right now, like when I'm watching Odd Real Monsters. And that's when I saw like, oh yeah, like the same animation like studio plays at the end. I'm like, oh, this all makes sense. I remember just like everything's just like, oh yeah, it's all clicking. Like I get it. Like the studio does different cartoons, not just one. You asked about streaming. I did want to mention that I do have a VHS tape with a couple of episodes of Aaahh Monsters on it.
Of course you do.
If you ever need that, let me know. I can shoot it up your way.
Nice. I will let you know.
Because I know you got that VCR now. So
yeah, I mean, we'll save it for collection update, but yeah, man. I have a specific story about the VCR that I wanted to share. So,
just talking about that though, this is another one of those things where it was like back in the day when I saw this on VHS. It's funny, the same VHS tape that I'm talking about is the one that I got back when I was younger. And it was one of those times where I was like, Aaahh Monsters had been off the air for, I don't know, a year or two. And it's one of those things where it's like, you kind of just don't really notice it because there's other stuff that's going on. Like there's more shows and you don't pick up on it, that it's like, oh yeah, that's just not a part of my life anymore. Because like, you know, you start watching different things. And then I remember seeing that VHS tape at a yard sale and I picked it up. I'm like, oh yeah, this show. Like I don't see it anymore because it's not on TV and I don't have the internet because I'm old. And there was a time where I didn't have the internet just at my fingertips. And I remember picking that VHS tape up and I'm just like, no, well, now I'll have access to, you know, like 4 or 5 episodes, whatever's on here. And I don't know, that just kind of like fueled like part of my drive to like collect more VHS tapes.
Since then, from that day.
Not from that day, but it definitely, it helped. I was just like, oh yeah, well now, like, you know, nobody can take this away from me. I can't see this on TV, so I'll own it and I can watch it whenever I want. Like, I'll have access to these episodes. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Did you ever play the video game by chance?
Oh, yes. I didn't own it, but my friend owned it. Yeah, I remember that.
I never played the Super... They had one on Genesis and Super Nintendo. I don't know.
It was Genesis.
Yeah, I never played the Super Nintendo one. I played the Genesis one. And I just remember it being really hard. Like, I remember liking it a lot. Like, you got to play it as each different character, and they all kind of had their special abilities. But I just remember, like, not being old enough to understand how to beat the game. That was most Sega games for me, but that one in particular, I just remember getting real frustrated at.
Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, I saw this pop up. I was like, dude, this is Ween cast material, man. Spooky monsters. That's what the whole show was, man. Just them scaring people. And yeah, and you mentioned the crumb with his eyeballs in his mouth.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive that's like a whole nother sculpt. That's not just like adjusting the sculpt. That's a whole different like figure that you're getting. So definitely, if you're going to consider buying this, like definitely fork up the extra $25 and get the exclusive set. I don't know if, I mean, by the time you listen to this, I'm not sure if it's even going to be available. But yeah, man, pick this up. If not for that, then pick it up for the Zimbo character. If you remember the little fly character.
I don't remember him. I don't remember either of those little guys.
Yeah, he sat on top of the head of the Snorch.
See, I'd really have to rewatch an episode. I remember the Grumble, and I remember the 3 main.
Yeah.
Well,
famously, that is the character that Tim Curry voiced. So, if you're a Tim Curry fan, there you go.
I don't have Paramount Plus. I'm probably not going to get it, but maybe I can YouTube it and find something.
I have the VHS tape, dude. Let me send it to you.
Oh, yeah. Just send it up this way. All right, Motyl. Well, it's not just the Ween cast, because I think as a lot of our long-term listeners know, it's also October's also the month of your birthday. Special month, your birthday. I think that's why you love Ween so much, because your birthday is so dang close to it. And it's just like, it's just the perfect spot for your birthday to be.
I have really leaned into that, and it's become my favorite part of my birthday as I get older and just try to like look away from how old I'm getting. I'm just like, oh yeah, I was born near Halloween. I love it.
Yes. It makes a lot of sense for the things that you're into. So, had to get you something. I shipped it down to you. You have it in front of you, and you haven't opened it yet. We're gonna open it live. I got you 2 things. 2 things there.
Two things?
2 things. Yeah, nothing crazy. Just a little birthday surprise. So when you're ready, man, take it away and open that boy up.
Yeah, dude. Just so we're all clear, I'm not pulling any punches here. This is unopened. You're gonna hear some sweet ASMR.
There should be.
Oh, and the shipping label is to me an attention to the toy room at my address. So that's a nice touch.
Yes. I want to make sure I was getting to the right spot. Now, if there's a bigger box and a smaller box, I think you should open the bigger box first.
All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, man, you opted for the gift wrap option.
Oh, yeah. It's a birthday gift, man.
All right,
so put it in a big bag.
Yes, they are. They are 2 here. So what's
Let's go with the big one first.
Big one first. All right. What? Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Strick bought me cereal, Blueberry cereal from General Mills. And not only that, but look at you, dude. You just spare no expense. He got me the family size box of Blueberry cereal.
You got a whole family there, dude.
This will go next. This will go right next to my other Boo box or my Blueberry cereal that my son is currently eating. So,
nice, you guys eating Blueberry in the household?
He likes Blueberry. Yeah, I've got him on it now. He's liking it. So yes, definitely appreciate that. We were gonna get another box, so this is perfect.
There you go, man.
Thank you very
much. To it. You're welcome.
Lovely. And famously, if nobody else, if you're a first-time listener, Blueberry is the only cereal that I like eating. I hate cereal otherwise. I love the culture. I love cereal culture, but Blueberry cereal is the only one that I like to actually consume.
It's just always out around your birthday, and it just reminds me. It's like, oh yeah, it's Motyl's birthday. Motyl's birthday's coming up. We've been eating Blueberry and Count Chocula here this year.
Ooh, what about Frankenberry?
I ain't messing with that. No.
I know, right? I'm not trying to get strawberry sick.
Disgusting.
All right, I'm opening up the small one.
All right, let's go for it.
And I can't help but feel that this might be an action figure.
You might be right.
I'm using all 5 of my senses. Pretty sure.
What's it smelling like?
I don't know. Maybe that's Blueberry I'm smelling.
Man, the gift wrap.
It's intense.
It's an intense gift wrap.
Or this is all just a ruse to prove to you that I didn't open it.
Yeah, you pulled that trick on your grandma. You feel like you're pulling one over on me.
Oh, look at this. Oh, you dirty dog.
Yeah.
So what I'm looking at, we talked about this on a couple of casts ago. Strick got me the reaction figure of Prison Mike from Super7.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes, dude. Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. Wow, that's great. I love this. Thank you so much, dude. This is...
You're welcome, man.
I'm thinking of a million things. Do I open this? Do I not open this? Well, I guess maybe I'm thinking of 2 things.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that it can join the if you still have this in your current home, you're just like your setup of Halloween trinkets. I know you had it at your last house. I really just thought this would look really nice in that collection of Halloween, just like doodads and trinkets that you set up. You know what I'm talking about? You still have that?
My Halloween mood shelf? Yeah, dude.
Yes, your mood shelf. Yes, I know you had a name for it.
I'll send you a pic of that after.
Sweet.
So okay, cool. So then I have your blessing to open this.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, you could do whatever you want with it, but it's yours now. But I would love for you to open it and play with it and just show it to your boys and just be like, "This is Prison Mike," and explain it.
Yes, dude. Yeah, if there was one figure I wanted to dip my toe into with the Office reaction figures, this was it. So you know me very well. Thank you, dude. Totally appreciate it, man.
Welcome.
This will be the best birthday gift I'm sure that I receive because I don't really get birthday gifts anymore.
Yeah, you and me both, man.
Oh man, what a treat, dude! What a trick or treat, not a trick. It's a treat, purely treat.
Good stuff. Happy birthday. Glad you got something on your birthday.
A toy. I'm sure I'm gonna get
toy.
Other stuff, but this is probably gonna be the only toy I get.
That's a good way to put it. I'm looking out for you.
Whoa, whoa, collection updates.
Ooh, spooky edition. Did you like that?
You had to add the spook, dude. Yes, the spook is essential.
Just remind everybody it's the Ween cast. Can't forget. Because here we go. We'll dive into mine. I just have a whole bunch of stuff in here. First, I want to give the Good to Grow update because we talked about that last time. Those little the little Good to Grow juices. I'm starting to collect the lids, and boy, do we have a collection growing. I've been sending you the updates every week. I might just start posting those because I imagine everybody just wants to stay up on the here and now of what's going on.
Oh, of course.
But we've got I don't want to list them all, but I know we got a lot of the Cars crew, a lot of Lightning McQueen, Mater. We got another one of those guys in the mix. We got Thomas the Tank Engine. We actually nabbed a red Power Ranger. That took some coaxing, but we got one of those. I think you picked yourself up a red Power Ranger, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
I did, man. Yeah, was in the
there we go.
The gas station. Had to dig through a couple of rows of them, but I saw them. I was like, man, I'm sure that's Spider-Man, but I'm gonna keep digging. And then I saw it. I was like, oop, nope, that's the red Power Ranger. That's
the one we want. And I haven't gotten too deep into the app and like updating. I'm just kind of like chucking them up in our cabinet. I'll assess everything at the end of the year, but I've been trying to push some pretty hard. I've been like, yo, here's this Bluey character. He's pretty rare, but my kids, they don't go for it. They're just like, nah, I want that Thomas, or I want that other character. I want that Super Kitty. I don't know. We have Super Kitty. So he's in the house. Anyway, I just want to keep everybody updated. We're still going strong on the Good to Grow. That's a weekly thing, so they're getting added.
Nice, man.
A lot of just ramp up to the holidays. We were kind of talking about it. We just bought a ton of stuff. Basically, all the holiday shopping is done. So we're gonna have a lot to talk about the next cast in a good way. But I just wanted to spend a minute on Halloween costumes, man. We talked about these a little last year. I just wanted to get a sense of like what you guys got going on. I want to share a little bit about what we got going on this year. So this year, man, this is a good one. We are going as the Muppets, and yeah, buddy, we are going as the Muppet, and we do the whole family is in on it with everybody synchronized costume. As long as we can do that, we're gonna do that. So I've got myself Kermit. I got a nice little Kermit mask that I'm gonna, just kind of Kermit goes over the whole head, and your head's kind of sticking out of his mouth, kind of mask going on. And then, nothing else special. I bought myself it's actually super sweet, an Electric Mayhem T-shirt that I'm gonna wear with that Kermit helmet. Nice. And then my wife's got some Miss Piggy look going on. Something similar, nothing crazy, just like trying to just give off the vibe of the character, really. And then my two boys, Can I
guess?
Oh yeah, go for it.
All right, so one of them has to be Animal.
Yeah, oh yes, good call. My oldest is Animal. He's gonna be Animal.
And then all right. So your youngest, then he's got to be Gonzo.
Close. What's your second guess?
Fozzie Bear.
There you go. Yeah, we were. It's actually funny you guess. My oldest kept going back and forth. We were like, who do you want to be? And he's just like, Gonzo. And we're like, you sure? Because you really like Animal. And he's just like, no, I want to be Gonzo. And we were like, okay. And we finally find a Gonzo. It's really hard to find these Muppets costumes for kids. They're like not very available. And we finally found a Gonzo costume that was like really expensive. And we were like, all right, let's just get it and everything. And we buy it. And then my son, the next day is like, I think I want to be Animal.
Of course.
I'm really thinking, and I'm just like, we gotta like cancel from this website that like, it's not like Amazon where they make it easy. It's just you gotta like call and like give them your birth certificate and stuff. Like it was stupid. So that was getting all the costumes. We have all the costumes. We got them pretty early, and I'm really excited to see. Both my youngest is going to be absolutely adorable as Fozzie Bear. It's going to be like a whole bear costume. He's 2, like 2.5. He's going to be 2 right around that time, and just like cute little bear costume. He's gonna be adorable. And then the Animal looks so good. Like we opted for like an adult size animal head that's like similar to the Kermit. It's like you got the whole furry head going on around you, and your face is just kind of sticking out. and we were like, it might be big. Maybe we got to put like a helmet underneath or something. But it fits my son perfectly. So I'm like, I'm so glad we got it. And then we just got like leather jacket. We're going the leather jacket look with like jeans, distressed jeans. I think just like a white t-shirt underneath. And then we got that chain. Yeah, we got that sick chain that he's gonna wear around his neck. Yeah. So he's gonna be all done up. It's gonna be, and he's got drumsticks, so he's just gonna be like rocking out on his drum. Yeah, man, that's what we got going. I'm excited. I'm excited for the Ween to come around.
Hang on, this sounds a lot like you kind of pushed for this. Is that true, or is this something that your son sort of just came up with on his own?
I don't know if I pushed for it too much. Like once we got on the track, I was like, "Ooh yeah, let's do this." Like, yeah, I'm committed. But no, it was I think it was him and my wife really circled around it. We're Muppet Babies is big in the house. The new show, the new Muppet Babies.
Okay, so it wasn't the movies that did them.
Nah, but we did go through a phase where we were watching some of the movies and stuff. So he was big. I'd say like they're not the biggest right now in the household, but he still watches a good amount of Muppet Babies. So they're still relevant.
I know you're just like all about the Christmas movie. Is that the only one, or have you watched more?
We actually, so we watched that last year, Muppets Christmas Carol. So that was kind of an intro to him. We watched the newer Muppets movie with what's his name, Jason and Amy Adams. Yeah. We watched that, and then we watched Muppets Treasure Island. Like that one, but just like we were also into Pirates for a little bit there. And
yeah, dude, that's a sleeper. That's a good one.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, it's like a little dark. Like some of their stuff is. I'll share the last part of my collection update for after you give yours, because I think it'll be a nice tail end to your collection update. But what are you guys doing Halloween costume wise?
Oh, we're slacking, dude. Like it's very slack. Just because we went through last year where we wanted to kind of give my 3-year-old the option. Well, he was 2 at the time, but we'll give him the option of just like, all right, what do you want to be for Halloween? And he kind of just like, I mean, obviously didn't really understand the concept. So we're just like, all right. So my wife bought him like sheriff stuff, like cowboy sheriff stuff. Mm-hmm. And we tried to put it on him and he was just like not having it. So we're like, all right. So he ended up just like picking like a skeleton costume with like a pumpkin over top of it. He's like, I want to be a pumpkin skeleton. We're like, sure, dude. Right. Like, that's fine. So he did that last year. And then this year, we're just like, we are not, you just tell us what you want to be. And he's like, I'm being a T-Rex. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. Nice. Make me a T-Rex, please. We're like, okay, that sounds good. So my wife bought a T-Rex costume, and then she basically just bought like the next size under it for my younger son. So they're just going to be both T-Rexes. And I'm like, yep, that's cool. Washed my hands of it because for a second, I wanted to push Power Rangers on him because I wanted like dress up as the Power Rangers one year because we have some like kid costumes for it with like masks, like the Blue Ranger and the Red Ranger, and I'm trying to like push that on him, but I don't want to push too hard. I'm just like, you know what, you do what you want to do. Yeah, we're not doing a family thing.
that is all my wife. She is like, all right, well, what does that mean we're gonna be? And I'm like, all right, I guess we're dressing up. So I turned it into like getting a sick. I mean, I wear this shirt all the time. I wear my Electric Mayhem band shirt. I just like wear it. Oh, dude, as much. I mean, it's an easy like I'm going to bed. Let me throw on a t-shirt, but then I tend to wear it like out grocery shopping and whatever weekend thing I have to do. I like throwing it on because it gets a good like oh, that's a nice shirt. You get like a nice little comment about it. So.
Dude, there's people complimenting you. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, people are like, "Oh, that's a cool shirt." It's like grown men my age that are like a sick shirt. But I don't know. I enjoy, and it's got like Animal on it. So my son knows Animal of all the Electric Mayhem, and he's like, "Who are all those other people?"
Well, this is Floyd Peppers, the bassist.
Yeah, I mean, I explained them all. I'm just like, "This is Janice, is everybody," and he's just like, "Oh, that's cool. Where are they in Muppet Babies?" And I'm like, "They're not around. They're not around."
Is Rolf on the shirt?
Rolf is not on the shirt. No, he didn't make the shirt.
Yeah, that makes sense. He didn't sit in with them too much.
I guess I'll round out my my collection update here because you were just mentioning Power Rangers, and that was kind of the story that I wanted to tell. You kind of alluded to it already. I came into acquiring a couple things, and I might save another thing for the next cast, but I acquired a VHS/DVD player through one of my relatives, and it was funny how it happened, because like at first immediately I thought of you, and I was just like, oh, Motyls gonna be so psyched that I have this thing now. And it was one of those things. It was actually a relative that had passed away, and it was just like all this stuff that they owned, and my in-laws were asking me like, hey, do you want this, like all these things, and this one just came across there like, would you want something like this? I was like, oh yes, like yes please. That was like the thing that jumped out the most to me. I was like, yes please, put that to the side. Oh, it has a remote, even better, like put it to the side. I would love that. So that is now in my possession, a VHS DVD combo. I'm very happy I own it, because here's the story. So we were this week, my oldest son caught a little cold. He got a little sick, which happens this time of year, especially for little kids as they go back to school. And he had like a really bad fever, and in our house anyway, like when somebody's sick, it's just like, all right, you get to do whatever you want essentially, like the next day. Like if you want to watch TV all day, that's what you're doing. So he takes full advantage of being sick. Like as soon as he gets sick, he gets a little giddy, like, ooh, that means sick day tomorrow. And we're like, yep, it's sick day tomorrow. So he was watching a lot of TV, and watching like The Big Green. He loves that movie right now, if you remember that one.
What a banger.
Loves that movie. And then I was just like, dude, you know the movie I watched all the time when I was sick? And he was like, what? And I was like, Power Rangers the movie. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie was my go-to. And I was like, you want to fire that up right now? Because we were just kind of hanging out on the couch, and he was just like, yeah, like I'll check it out. And I'm going to look for it, and it is nowhere to be found. You can't find it on streaming, and I'm like looking it up, and people are like, yeah, it hasn't been available for forever. You just can't find it. And then people are like, you might get lucky with somebody on YouTube. So I got lucky with somebody on YouTube, had basically the whole movie posted. And we watched, this is all a long story, but we watched the opening scene, which is just like so good when they're parachuting and just like landing and everything. And him and my younger son were watching it, and they're just going nuts, and they're just like, this is the best movie ever. This is so great. I'm like, this is great. And then it gets to like Rita. Everybody shows up with like ooze, like they're all trying to uncover ooze and everything, and they all show up, and like Zed gets on the screen, and my youngest son, who like can barely talk, is just like, I'm scared. And I was like, we should turn this off. And I'm like, are you scared? Like, it's just too much. And he's just like, no, I'm okay. And I'm just like, all right, let's keep watching, because I just want to get to the first scene where they morph. Then they're just like kicking butt, and oh man, it's just too scary getting to that. There's like the ooze monsters, and the ooze himself is like just so scary, so creepy. And I'm pretty sure I gave both my kids nightmares to just try to get to the part. I didn't even get to the part where they morphed, which was unfortunate. But that was their first dip into Power Rangers, and they didn't hate it, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, man, it just fueled my interest in like having a DVD VHS player, because I have that one on VHS somewhere in my parents' house. I'm definitely gonna like retrieve it and make sure that I have it, because I want to be able to watch it. So. I just thought of you a lot, man, because you're always dude, just beating the drum on physical media, and you don't know, and it was all coming true for me.
We're already best friends, man. You don't have to like do all this like to make me like you more. You don't have to do this. Gosh, that is so cool. So it's so endearing, man. I love it. That's exactly what I've been preaching for how many casts. That's
too many.
Glad you're seeing it. Yeah, when you sent me those pictures, I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Are you like, do you want me to like make you an offer on this on this combo right now? Because that's a really clean VHS DVD combo from what I see. And then you have the remote to it. I'm like, ooh, wow. Hope you don't like try to sell that, because that's a keeper. Those are getting harder and harder to find.
It's staying with me. I actually need to plug it in and test it out and make sure that it works. I'm assuming it works, but I should not assume.
I would assume. That looks super clean. Yeah, I would not worry about that. Such a good pickup. I'm glad you get to keep it, and I'm glad you're just getting into my lane here a little bit and just see.
I don't know how soon I'm going to be like given I bought these VHS packs as my collection update, but There might be one or two of those in here coming up,
Wow.
just like DVD collections or something like that.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is like we have been transitioning like so well this cast, because my segment is not really toys, it's physical media. I know this cast has already been terrifying for people. We're probably going to keep people up tonight listening to this, how scary it was, but for real, man, we are talking legit horror for my collection update. Terrifier. Are you familiar with the film the film franchise Terrifier?
I want to say no, but then I'm looking at it and it looks familiar. So it's possible we've watched one of these.
No, we haven't, because it's from
Okay.
like 2016 is like the first one that came out. And then,
I've probably not seen it. It's fair to say I've not seen it.
I would imagine you haven't seen it, but this is something that is like crazy to me on a couple of different levels. Out of nowhere, a couple of months ago, there was no fanfare at all. The Terrifier 2, it came out on like, Blu-ray, DVD, all that good stuff. But for some reason, it got released on a 2-pack VHS exclusively in Walmart under the Bloody Disgusting section. So, there's like action figures and tchotchkes and stuff. But mixed in there was VHS copies of this movie. It blew my mind when I saw it, because I'm just seeing all these reports come out, just being like people finding it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like I would be hitting my Walmart every day after work. I'm driving home. I go to Walmart and check, like, is it here yet? Is it here? Never got it. Apparently only select Walmarts got them. So like, I guess like bigger Walmarts, super Walmarts, whatever they are. I think those are the ones that got them. Mine did not. I was traveling like into like different cities, like to find like neighboring towns to find this, because I was like, man, how often does a VHS tape get released at retail nowadays?
Never, yeah.
Yeah, man. I didn't find it in store, unfortunately. $30 was retail, and then I ended up, after I searched for like, I don't know, a straight like week and change, I was like, I'm done. Let me just buy it now for like $40 plus shipping. So I was like, whatever, that's fine. I don't care. I can live with it. I need it. It has to be in my house. So yeah, ended up picking it up. The film is crazy. I don't know if you have anything to comment on as far as just like it being in retail and it being a VHS tape. Like in 2024, there was a VHS tape on store shelves in Walmart. It's just nuts to think about.
It is wild. Like I'm trying, like the closest thing I could think of is when like Target started selling like vinyl, but even that, it's like there was a whole scene around it, and like it was becoming. That made more sense. This, I'm like, if I walk by, I was like, is that a VHS? Like, what is that doing there? Why are they selling VHSs in 2024? Yeah, that's crazy, man.
It's funny that you put it like that, because I even asked somebody at Walmart at one point, after I was getting desperate because I couldn't find it. So I was just like, yeah, so I pull it up online. I'm like, I'm looking for this VHS tape, you guys are selling. And they're just like, VHS tape? What are you talking about? Like, they had no idea. And it's like, and it stands to reason that they wouldn't have any idea. I mean, it's, a dead format, so to speak.
Did they not know what VHS was, or were they like, you're in the wrong,
No, I think that, no, the person that was helping me was older, so they knew. They were just like, what are you talking about? Like, VHS. So it was crazy to see and it's relevant to talk about now, even though it's been months since it's been out. But Terrifier 3 just dropped this month as well. What's funny is it's like so popular, and it's like doing so well in the box office that it's beating out the Joker sequel. Yeah. It's nuts, dude. It's doing better than that movie. It's crazy.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 stars. Like, that's a lot for a horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah, a third installment of a horror movie.
Yeah, really.
To boot. It is. I've only seen the first and the second one, and it is without a doubt, the goriest, most disturbing horror movie I've ever seen.
Nice.
Yeah, the second one specifically, unforgivably gory. Like, it's almost like it bothers me, like how gory it is. which is crazy because I feel like I have a very high tolerance. And then I hear that the third one, they're like warning people, like, you might get sick watching this. So, apparently they're like providing like barf bags, like official Terrifier 3 barf bags in some theater. Just because people are getting queasy. So none of it is CGI, or if there is, it's very hard to tell if there's any CGI. But everything is like blood and guts, practical effects is what I mean in these movies. So, and you know, that's just like what old school horror fans want. You know, you don't want like CGI stuff. If you just look up like a compilation video of like kills in this movie, it's like, it's hard to watch.
I mean, I'm just looking at like the still images of the third film, like on IMDb, and it's just like bloodbath after bloodbath. Like, it just looks so gory. Oh my god, I can only imagine.
Yeah, man. So it's a cool like franchise that, I mean, I want to say up and coming, but it is. It's already there. It has its fan base. I love having the VHS tape of it. I don't know if there's gonna be a VHS tape of the third installment. I would imagine so. I mean, this was like super popular. It's sold out. I mean, you couldn't find these anywhere. You watch, you know, reviews and stuff, and like influencers are like, nah, you know, hold off. You know, they'll restock once they see how popular it sells, or once they see how popular it is, and, you know, they see that it sells. And it's like, I mean, I know for a fact that there's no factory manufacturing VHS tapes. Like, I know that. Like, there's not new ones being made anywhere. So it stands to reason that this is all like new old stock that this small company, well, I say small, I don't know how small it is. It's Witter Entertainment is who produced these VHSs. And I did visit their website once, and it's like all kind of like indie horror movies that are getting put onto VHS tape. I would imagine Terrifier is like the biggest name that they're producing. I don't think, I was just like, oh yeah, maybe I should just wait. I'll wait and I'll save like $10, $20. I was like, man, I think it's going to be a limited run. And sure enough, I think it was, because you go onto Witter's website and it's all just like titles that have like, oh yeah, limited to like 50 copies, limited to, you know, 100 copies or whatever. So I think this is like a once and done kind of deal. So I don't know if this is gonna like hit stores again. And if it does, you know, great, because it's awesome. But I don't know if it will. So hopefully they just do another box set with Terrifier 3. I would love that. Just continue it. So yeah, man. Got 2 VHS tapes, brand new from the store in 2024. Put that on wax. It's crazy. One of them's the feature. Yeah, dude. One of them's the feature, and then the second is, or maybe there's some of the feature on both of these and they couldn't fit it. I don't know. I don't remember. But the other one's just like special features and stuff. So Terrifier 2, man, it's just it's a part of history. It hit retail, 2 VHS tapes.
Nice. Well, that's cool.
It fits the Halloweenish cast, you know. I did buy this a couple of months ago, but I had to save it for the Weenie cast, because Terrifier, man, if you are dipping your toe into the horror realm, this is intense. So it is not for the squeamish. I recommend it, but with caution.
Well, definitely ship that VHS up here when you get a minute. And I'll plop it in my new VHS player and give it a watch while my kiddies are around. Just nice family film.
If they're scared of the Lord Zed movie version, I don't know what to tell you here. Yeah. Which I don't know if I'll ever get this on another cast, but that Lord Zed is my favorite version of Lord Zed.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looked so awesome in that movie. I always wanted an action figure of that specific, the way he looked specifically in that movie. I've always wanted that, so. That
is good. Glad it's on wax. We got it there. All right, man.
Yeah, dude. No tricks, all treats.
Well, I hope you have a spooky Halloween. I hope everyone else does. And that's going to do it for us today. If you'd like to stay up to date on all things Toy Talk, guys, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all the socials. We're trying to get there and be present. Please give us a 5-star review in Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you can. And just tell a friend about the show. Don't be afraid. Although it's the Halloween cast, don't be afraid to tell a friend about the show. As always, thanks for listening. Hope to see you again next time.